Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, first of all, allow me to introduce and welcome our guests. On behalf of all of us, I would like to welcome His Excellency Mr. Anshuman Gaur, Ambassador of the Republic of the India to Hungary. We also welcome Mr. Rajiv Kumar, Second Secretary, and Ms. Kovic Bettina, interpreter. I would like to thank the Ambassador very much for accepting our invitation to give a presentation today on India-EU Free Trade Agreement and its potential impact to the development of India-Hungary economic relation, especially in the agriculture sector. I also welcome our President, Mr. Gyula Plesin. Last but not least, let me welcome you, all of you, and I would like to send a special greeting to our viewers who follow our event on our YouTube channel. Before we start, I would just like to tell our guest about ourselves that the Hungarian Economic Association is a 132 years old organization. In this organization, our section dealt with the world of agribusiness. A central pillar of our work is the sharing of knowledge, through which we aim to support the development of Hungary's intelligent agri-food sector. Finally, my name is Attila Zöldréti, and I am the president of the Agriculture and Food Industry section. Dear colleagues, let's start our event today. Our agenda has only 2 points for today. At first, we will listen to Ambassador's presentation, and secondly, there will be an opportunity for comments, question and answer. We will hold this in several rounds. Dear colleagues, I would now like to give the floor to His Excellency the Ambassador, and please give your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. The President of the Hungarian Economic Association, the head of the agro-business section, distinguished board members, esteemed economists, professors, business leaders, and dear friends. It's a distinct honor to be invited to this August gathering of HEA. As the oldest and most prestigious association of Hungarian economists, you represent the intellectual vanguard of this nation's economic discourse. Sharing this room with some of the finest economic minds in Hungary, I must begin with a candid confession. I'm acutely aware that you understand economic theory and the intricacies of the mechanics of monetary policy much better than I do. So the presentation I will share with you today is not about economic theory. Rather, it's a practical exercise in economics which is aimed mostly at the businesses of Hungary. It's designed to jolt them into action, to present to them the reality of what is happening in India and the opportunities that exist. I will be talking about the impact and the possibilities that have opened up because of the India-EU Free Trade Agreement. I will be focusing a bit on the agro-business sector opportunities in India, and hopefully you will take this message back to some of the business leaders and tell them of the opportunities that India today represents. So let me quickly dive into the presentation. Let's call it the India mandate. The mandate to either have profit and scale up, or to fade into obsolescence. In 20 years, the global economy will have two very distinct poles. Unfortunately, we are sitting in the one that will be the slower growing one. I come from a place which will perhaps be the fastest growing economy in the world. So therefore, if you are a business and you have responsibility to your shareholders, and if you are not in India by 2030, because the next 50 years are going to be India's story, you will be managing your own liquidation. Now, this is not arrogance. This is just the confidence of what we are witnessing in India, the sheer scale and the speed of the transformation there. This is the macro reality. We climbed from the 4th to the 3rd position as the largest economy, 3rd largest economy in the world, in the quickest time it has taken any economy to make that transition. Today we are not only the fastest growing economy, but we are also becoming the growth engine of the world. By 27, we hope to be the 3rd largest economy. In real terms, these are not PPP figures. We have been reporting a consistent growth of 7% GDP despite the geopolitical problems, despite the global contraction. And we are much, much ahead of the rest of the world when it comes to growth. As I said, I won't be delving too much into economics, but I just want to share this data from IMF with you. I don't have to point out to you, it's not the actual massive size, but the rate of change of growth. And look at the projection for 25-30. Almost 20% of global growth is going to come from India. And that is what gives us the confidence that we will be the growth engine of the world. The growth comes from a very conscious and structured effort to reform our economy, to bring in measures that make business easier, but also focus on equity and create lasting infrastructure that allows businesses and individuals to grow. One of the biggest changes in India has been the adoption and introduction of the digital public infrastructure. I will talk about the JAM Trinity and the India stack in a minute. But AI, which is new and is seen as a transformative technology for the economy, is something which we are again pioneering a more public model. And I will talk about that in a minute. We introduced the good and services tax. It was like having a single VAT for all of Europe. In India, it brought together a country into one single market and gives you access to 1.4 billion consumers. We have rolled out what we call the production-linked incentives. Again, I'll be looking at some of the sectors where we provide this facility. This is an incentive given to businesses in India which produce, and the incentives are linked to the amount of production that they undertake. Infrastructure construction in India was something which was seen as a bottleneck. Well, I'm happy to report that the scale of change of infrastructure in India is massive. In ports, in number of airports being built, in the mileage of highways that we are adding every day, high-speed trains being built, and that creates a tremendous, not only a demand in the economy, but also connects the economic structures so well that it boosts production and logistics. The ease of doing business and structural reforms are linked to making it easier for business to set in, operate, and when required, close. And this is what has given the direction to India's economic growth. I don't have to emphasize that demographics are the key factor here. In 1.5 billion people, 65% of Indians are below the age of 35. We are going to see, although slowing, growth of population till at least 2080. And you are well aware of the silver tsunami, which is affecting the labor availability in Europe. In India, we are reaping a demographic dividend from the number of people. The question, again, to businesses is, who is going to buy your goods and services in 2040? The answer is in India. India is, of course, diverse. There are parts of India which are very poor. But the middle class, say those in the 40,000 euro per capita income, are almost 50 to 60 million people. That's the size of market you are looking at. The sheer size of the market is larger than US and EU combined together. This is just a forecast on the retail market. By 2033, you are looking at 3,434 billion retail market in India. If you don't have a share of that retail market, well, someone else who your competitor does. The question is of skilling those 1.5 billion people, and we produce 1.5 million engineers every year. This is one of the largest STEM pools in the world. These are very ambitious, very driven, very talented English-speaking, tech-native people who are available to work. Just a snapshot of what the wages look like, real wages look like in India. On an average, about 92 cents compared to 3.52 in China, and something similar in the rest of Southeast Asia. You can start a commercial website in India for as little as $50. Depending on the scale and size, you can also have a $500 million contract with one of my bigger IT companies. But if you are if you are a startup and you want to cut down your cost in getting to the market in the digital world, $50 is what it will cost you to start a website. But this talent obviously translates to a lot of innovation, and innovation is what is really the driving force. It's at the center of how we are seeing ourselves become a knowledge economy. It is now the hub of global IP. The patent filing in India doubled in the last 5 years. We have a lot of GCCs, the global research centers, which are located in India. It's not just about the back office processing, but it's also about doing your R&D in India at a scale and at a speed which is phenomenal. We have over 100,000 startups and more than 110 unicorns in the last 5 years. We have improved the IP structure. Our IP standards now meet the world, and we will be looking at that in a moment. If you want to do R&D at scale and at efficient cost, you should be in India. We spoke about digital public infrastructure. Just want to dive a bit into detail about that. The UPI, or the Unified Payment Interface, is a uniquely Indian innovation. It's a real-time payment rail. When you make a transaction using the UPI channels, the transaction in the bank records are instantaneous. They are not an end-of-the-day transaction. Very few countries, if at all, in the world have this kind of a thing. It is linked to biometrics. It gives you a digital ID, which again is absent in many of the larger economy. This gives the ability to onboard customers at an unprecedented scale. We have also, as I said, looked at the democratization of AI as one of our main goals. What India has done in building its AI stack is to procure a large number of processors and made that processing power available to anyone in India. Businesses, research scholars, universities, even individual innovators who want to use that GPU, that processing power. We have on that a layer of Indian data, which is available for almost last 30 years of collecting data, which provides the modeling. And we have some ethical benchmarks in terms of what an AI should and should not be doing. And that is how we build the AI stack in India. These are the two stacks. One, of course, is the identity and the payment layer, which enables frictionless digital transactions, including a very strong biometric-driven digital identity. And then the AI stack, which I talked about, is how the government is making it a public utility and not just a corporate-driven utility. Whoever has the best AI models in the future will most likely be a more productive society. And we want to share the benefit of AI with everyone, irrespective of your paying capacity. I talked about the production-linked initiative. It is essentially we pay people to produce more in India. The Make in India initiative, which was started in 2014, has now translated. We have 14 sectors in which the PLI facilities are available. Electronics, renewable energy, automotives, food processing, and pharmaceuticals are some of the areas which should be of particular interest to Hungarian companies. When you look at India beyond 2030, you should not be looking at India as a +1 strategy, but as an India-only strategy. These are just some snapshots of what is happening in infrastructure. 37 kilometers of highway every single day. 28 new metro projects going on right now. 100 new airports being built. This has also, the digital public infrastructure has contributed, reducing the overall cost by approximately 5%. So our physical infrastructure is fast catching up with our digital speed, and we are building infrastructure which is not just sustainable and world-class, but also it is stackable in that it connects with all the nodes. And that is powered by a program called PM Gati Shakti, which is a national logistical pipeline monitoring project. So if a company is putting in a fiber optic, another company is building a rail line, third company is digging a tunnel, the idea is to collate and channelize and streamline all those activities together, making it more future safe and more efficient. In ease of doing business, this was something which was targeted by my Prime Minister as a primary goal, that it should be easier for businesses to come and set up shop in India, and also easier for them to operate and exit if they want to go. Our corporate taxes have been slashed, 15% for new people who are coming up. The digital governance has made it faceless, and a lot of the processes have shifted online. So you don't even need to see an interlocutor to run your business. Over the years, we have scrapped more than 30,000 compliances. We are bringing in a major law in Jana Astha basket, which will decriminalize a lot of earlier compliance issues which were considered a criminal offense. So they will now be decriminalized, making it much easier and safer for businesses to operate. Well, India also is been a pole of geopolitical stability. We are a democratic country with very strong democratic credentials. You don't need to de-risk us when you are factoring us in. It has been a very stable macroeconomic scenario, 7% growth, 6.5% in some of the bad COVID years, but 10 years of 6.5%, 7-8% growth is very strong showing. We have also gone on a range of free trade agreements with many countries around the world. All of EU is covered. We did the free trade agreement with UK, which is a major partner for us. We did a free trade agreement with the EFTA countries, those which are European but out of EU. And now we have concluded a negotiation for the India-EU FTA, which is one of the largest FTAs India has ever done. But we also have free trade agreement with countries in the Gulf, with countries in the Southern Hemisphere, New Zealand and Australia. We also have some preferential trade agreements with countries in South America. But we are looking to channelize these trade agreements into networks of businesses so that Indian economy is totally integrated with the global economy. There will be a cost of missing out in India if you don't move in now. The barriers to your entry beyond 2030 will be more costly. So the supply chains are being locked. Those who are the early movers will enjoy a very strong advantage, which will be disproportionate to anyone who comes in late. It is not about the business being locked out, but losing out the early mover advantage. Things are cheap. If you are there now, it will be much more beneficial, more profitable. I was asked to talk about the India-EU FTA in some detail, and this agreement took almost 13 years to negotiate. I was on the negotiating team when we first started in 2013. It was not easy. I mean, my European counterparts would say that India was a difficult partner to negotiate with. I will say the was a very difficult partner to negotiate with. You are as complicated and as diverse as perhaps we are, with many changing goals and objectives that the Europeans wanted, sometimes things which were totally not related to economics or to business. But we have the agreement now. Maybe the geostrategic compulsions pushed both the sides to have a more realistic approach. The draft is now available actually online publicly for everyone to go through. The legal scrubbing is on, and hopefully in the next few months we should be starting the ratification process. The biggest thing is that it brings the largest economies together. It ties us to one of our largest trading partner in ways that should be beneficial to both of them. In February, my embassy organized a business seminar where we dissected the India-EU trade agreement. Some of you were there. And one of your think tanks came up with the assessment that in the short run, this is more beneficial to EU than it is to India. Because we were already at 0 to very low tariff for most of our product lines in India. We have slashed our tariffs by 90% for many of the products. Under the quota system, the automobile quota system, Hungarian automobile producers should benefit. Under the reduced tariff for agricultural products, especially on things like premium products like wine, it is the Hungarian producers who should be taking advantage of that, provided you can produce enough and sell it in the Indian market. But that's a Hungarian problem. That's not really my problem to solve. We will also see not just the tariff liberalization, but we will see streamlined compliance in terms of meeting the quality standards, a more robust system of rules of origin, and the importer knowledge mechanisms. We will also see mobility in terms of people moving, talent mobility moving from India to EU and EU to India, allowing better monitoring and personnel distribution. And this should give us a very strong supply chain resilience. It is not for some small reason that it was called the mother of all deal. My infographic is actually in Hungarian for your benefit, so you can read it better than perhaps I can. It highlights some of the areas where we think that, especially for Hungary, where there is going to be a direct benefit in terms of what this FTA means to business on the ground. The embassy, of course, is always available to provide a more detailed strategic advice to anyone who's looking to explore the possibilities of opportunities the FTA has created. Why Hungary? Why now? I am the ambassador to Hungary, and this is a country which is growing on to me in the last 7 months that I have been here. One, we have excellent political relations. We are mature democracies. We handle political change. And we know that what really matters is that the bilateral relation between the two countries keep on growing on a very steady and dynamic rate. Our trade and investment have been growing. Many Indian companies have made Hungary their home. Some of the names are there. And I mean, some of you actually might remember that India and Hungary had a free trade agreement before you joined EU. You were one of the few European countries with which India had a free trade agreement going back to 1980s. That free trade agreement was, of course, subsumed when you joined the European Union. So this is a revival of the special relationship we had prior to 2004. You have expertise in automotive sector, pharmaceutical, water management. These are some of the areas which match the requirements in India. The synergy will be in not just exporting, but in going to India and co-creating or bringing partners from India to co-create in Hungary. With your expertise and engineering and precision prowess, our companies can aim for global dominance. While I was preparing to come, I just take a minute to share an anecdote with you. While I was preparing to come to Hungary as the Indian ambassador, a gentleman in his 80s came to meet me. He had worked on India's first metro project in early 80s in Kolkata. with Hungarian engineers. And he held the Hungarian engineers in such high regard. He in fact gave me a couple of names and asked me to find them and convey his best wishes to them. So that is the kind of impression your engineers have left in India. Hungary enjoys goodwill and recognition in India, and I think the time is to be more aggressive and convert the advantages which are being created with the EU FTA and the goodwill and the political stability into more business and more profit. These are some of the opportunities that I think have been created for Hungarian enterprises, both in terms of procuring from India, sourcing from India, and in terms of selling to India, both export and import. Your import opportunities in terms of textiles, chemicals and pharmaceuticals, especially precursors, and IT and professional services become cheaper for you to import from India. But it also becomes more profitable to export to India in terms of machinery, electrical equipment, surgical, especially optical surgery equipment, which you are producing, automotives and plastic. In fact, for the first time in last 30 years, you have a slight advantage in the exports today because of some specialized navigation automotive boards which are being sold to India. So this is a welcome shift, although I would like to see us making more profit here. We carried out a mapping of the complementarity of sectors in the embassy, where we matched the Hungarian expertise and strengths with the Indian requirement. We narrowed it down to these few sectors with the very high degree of match in precision engineering and auto components, also a very high degree of match in pharmaceutical R&D and API, where the match was almost perfect. There's also a very strong match in terms of IT services and high-end IT especially, and water and environment technology, where India has a growing market because we are putting together a sustainable future, a green future, and some of your companies have expertise. Some of your companies are already active there. So this is an opportunity to combine Hungarian innovation and knowledge with India's strength and the scale of Indian markets. The European companies have done well in India. Their climb to $1 billion in profit was one of the fastest for any group of companies. I've listed some of the major profit makers in India, which are European. Most of them come from either Switzerland or Germany. One of the shining example of Hungarian company doing well and profiting in India has been Gideon Richter. In fact, their last two investments have been totally export-oriented. They set up a production unit in one of our special economic zone, where they produce not to sell to the Indian market, but sell to the global market. And this is how their profits in H1 2025 look like. So if they can succeed, so can other Hungarian companies. Initially they come for the low wages and cheap production, but they stay on for the high margins. And if you want high profits, India is where you should be at. I'll be looking at some of the sectors in some detail, and then perhaps focus more on agro-processing. Green energy, as I said, is a massive field. We have a target for 500 gigawatts by 2030. We are the only G20 country to have actually met our targets for installing green energy, sustainable energy. And this is where I think the largest demand is being generated in India. Everything from electric vehicles to wind to solar to water management, green hydrogen, it's all available. These are all sectors which are growing in India. Any company from Hungary which wants to make a profit should be looking at these sectors specifically. We also have very competitive Indian providers in these sectors who are happy to provide their scale and their competitive pricing for Hungarian projects. Suzlon is a big Indian company in wind sector. Adani and Tata Solar are big solar providers. In fact, Adani is setting up one of the largest solar plants in the world in India, which will be coming online in the next few months. If they are invited to partner with Hungarian companies in Hungary and in Europe, I think this will be a profitable partnership for both the countries. Healthcare and pharma, again, India proved in COVID-19 how we could be the pharmacy of the world. We made the largest number of vaccine doses which were affordable and which were made available to countries in the south of the world, in Africa, in Latin America, and even several countries in Europe. We had 2 vaccine production lines in India. Most of us in India were vaccinated by the Indian made vaccine. The advantage in India is that we have had 60 years of vaccine program for our own children. And that has created the kind of scale which allows us to bring in a new vaccine, a new molecule, and to produce it in scale which can meet global demands. It is a 50 billion industry, today growing at about 8%. And this has already been an area where India and Hungary have established some synergy and success. My tagline, my invitation to everyone here is always that if you have a tooth problem, go to India, get your teeth fixed, and see the Taj Mahal as a side benefit. Food and agro sector, especially because my friend insisted that we talk more about this sector, and this is a sector which is fast transforming in India. From a traditional food-driven structure, we are moving to a more urban, more market-driven food synergy in India. India is also a big producer of agro products. We are one of the largest producers of milk, pulses, spices, second largest fruit, vegetable, tea, sugarcane. The climatic zone in India allows us to produce a large variety of things. We have temperate zones, we have tropical zones. In some parts of my country, it is possible to take 3 or even 4 crops a year where we have irrigation. With the modern agro processes and processing technologies, a large part of this produce can be channelized into the market, can be preserved well, and that has been an area where my government has kind of pushed the envelope. You see, in 5 years, our exports grew from $34 billion to $51 billion, and they are growing almost at 7-8% every year. But we are also one of the biggest markets of food. Just given the size of 1.5 billion people, we are also a market that can accommodate, that can absorb pretty much everything that Europe and especially Hungary has to produce. European brands, Hungarian brands carry a premium in the Indian market, and there is a desire as people become more affluent to look for more exotic and more European products. And this creates a tremendous drive in India, a tremendous attractive drive for Hungarian producers to be looking at India as not just a place where they can procure things from, but as a place where they should be selling their premium products at. This is something which I tailored to focus on the Hungarian opportunities coming in terms of the massive scale of the Indian market, the growing demand in India, which is transitioning as people become more aspirational, more urban, and the opportunities which are created by the India-EU FTA. Lower tariffs, you can get more premium products into India. European quality will allow you to have command premium quality prices. But we are also trying to develop the agro-processing infrastructure in terms of cold chains, in food processing parks. And these are, again, areas where you have advanced expertise. Water management, for example. Again, this is something where we have a agreement with the government of Hungary, and we are trying to get more Hungarian companies to go and work in water management, because India is a water-stressed scenario. And these are the areas where it will be advantageous for Hungarian companies to move in at this stage and lock in the market, get in there early, because other European competitors are very strongly pushing in these sectors. We provide a very strong policy support to the food sector. 2 flagship programs are the mega food parks, which are essentially large government-assisted establishment, which are plug-and-play scenario for any company which wants to come and work in the food sector. And we provide the PLI benefits, the production-linked benefits, to the food sector as well. So if you invest in India, if you have a production center in India, and you are producing at scale, there is a possibility for you to benefit from the incentive schemes as well. Now, these incentive schemes help de-risk the scenario. These also allow you, once you are entitled to a PLI benefit, these allow you to renegotiate your loans, for example, with the banks at more profitable credit rates. So this is the policy framework which is encouraging establishment of food processing and agro-processing plants in India. One of the big successes of Hungarian food products in India has been HEL Energy. It came to India like 5 years ago. Most Indians did not even know that it was a Hungarian brand because it came in the red can to begin with. Most people assumed that it was part of the Coca-Cola empire. Even today, most Indians would perhaps not be able to identify it as a Hungarian brand. But it came in, it challenged the established brands in India. Red Bull was the market leader at that time. And in 5 years, it became the best-selling energy product in. Now, this story is not just about a Hungarian company doing well in India. This is also a tale in how the aspiration of people are changing. Energy drinks in India were unknown before 2010. This is a new market. They are more expensive than the traditional drinks, which are available in a range of choices for Indians. So for Indians to choose something which is exported, premium, and more expensive shows the change of taste and the purchase capacity of the Indian population. So this is just one example, I mean, a very striking one because it's rooted in Hungary. But in 5 years for a Hungarian brand to dethrone something which was well established for 20 years, being the first one in and perhaps the only one in India at the time, should give hope to others. If you have the drive, India can provide you the scale to make you a global giant and a very profitable one at that. I mean, this is the entry roadmap I pitch to businesses. Next 90 days, that's it. That's the deadline, that's the timeline you have. Identify, start with the government incentive scheme. You want to de-risk, you want to go in with some safety net. Come in one of the 14 PLI sectors. Identify where you want to come in. Focus on a high growth manufacturing sector. Take advantage of the excellent political relations between India and Hungary. There is absolutely no friction. The embassy here and your embassy in Delhi are happy to facilitate any kind of business trade deals. Go and visit India. See it for yourself. There's nothing like seeing it to get a on-the-ground experience of the changes, of the dynamism, of the energy of India. Find partners. Look them in the eye before you sign on the contract lines. And that translates into success. It's as simple as that. But time is of essence. We have to move fast. You have to go and lock your deals today if you are looking at anything beyond 2030. These are the companies which did not look beyond 2030 or even 1990 in many cases. If you're not in the Indian market, if you're not selling or buying from India, I think you are doing a disservice to your shareholders. It's about moving now. It's moving at the time when India is open and available, where there is space to share. If you don't have a forward-looking policy, I would say that you are not ambitious enough. This is a summary of why you should be in India. The 10 advantages of being there can translate into basically 4 factors. There's growth, there's scale, there are incentives available, and there's a very big talent pool to choose from. Our scale provides the volume, our youth provides the energy, and our reforms provide the direction to the economic growth that India is facing. I will stop here and I'll take a few questions. Thank you. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for your valuable presentation. For me, was maybe the best message. What is the result of a talent tsunami? I think we need a similar talent tsunami here in Hungary. Come back to your presentation. In your presentation, we saw that India, a fantastic country. India is not only the most populous country on earth, but it has also averaged great success in terms of economic growth. We all agree with this and congratulate India on this great achievement. From we heard, we also learned about the great opportunity that will open up for both parties as a result of the India-EU free trade agreement. Tariff reduction offer good opportunities for EU 27 industrial and agri-food export to India. We also heard what effect is could have on India-Hungarian relation. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for your excellent presentation. And just a moment, I would like to emphasize here that the signing of the highly significant in the EU free trade agreement demonstrate a great achievement from both sides in today's complex world. Let me continue with the second point. Dear colleagues, we continue with some questions and comments. But first, three of our colleagues have indicated in advance today would like to comment. Let us first listen to comments Mr. Vajda, my co-president, Mr. Mats from the Agriculture Ministry, and Mr. Mats. I suggest the ambassador give his answer after the three comments and question. Mr. Vajda, your turn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Ambassador, my name is László Vajda. I am now retired already since 2012. But before that, I used to work in the Ministry of Agriculture. For over 20 years, I was head of the International Department and also head of the EU Affairs Department. So I try to follow still the developments of Hungarian agri-food sector and also of the international relations. So first of all, I would like to thank you for this excellent presentation. I was very impressed by the fast growth of India and even more by the very well-founded, future-oriented visions of your country. But coming to the agri-food sector, you have also mentioned briefly the wine as one product which will be affected by the tariff reductions. So my question would be, could you give us just a few more details on the Indian wine market? How is wine consumption? Is it increasing? What are the preferences of the Indian wine consumers? Where should we look for our market? Another question would relate to the contacts at the level of research institutes and agricultural universities, agricultural faculties. Although seemingly it is not directly trade connected, but the contacts between the researchers, the contacts between the universities and the university students could create a good and solid basis for future trade relations as well. So the question is, what do you think about that? How is India thinking of that? Are there any contacts, relations, cooperations between Indian and Hungarian agricultural research institutes and faculties? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Second. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm Mikros Más from the Ministry of Agriculture, and thank you so much for the presentation. So talking about the agricultural trade between the EU and India and the EU and Hungary. So the scale of the agricultural trade is very low, as we know, for the moment. So India is the 31st trade partner of the EU, and the situation is even worse in the case of Hungary. So I just would like to ask if you see any possibility to make a promotion campaign or something like that, where the Indian market can inform himself about the European or the Hungarian food products, and which Hungarian products you think have possibilities in the Indian market. And another question connected to this would be that when we are trying to export food products to big countries like China or in this case to India, the problem is always that the Hungarian exporters don't possess a big quantity of or the sufficient quantity that the market requires. So especially when I was dealing with wine export, the problem always was that the quality of the Hungarian product was good, and the market required, the foreign market, but the Hungarian exporters were not able to export the quantity that was required. How do you see? Is there any niche market or something like that where still the Hungarian exporters would have possibilities? Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. My name is András Halász from the Agricultural University, the Hungarian Agricultural University of and Life Sciences from Gödöllő. I would like to ask you about, can you tell us any good example from with India and Hungary cooperatives? Is there any of these, any of companies, with cooperative companies, like shareholders or something like that, including agricultural products or machinery? You gave us a very good impression with the health company. I have some experience with them regarding with the sugar industry. So the sugar cane is the key here, I guess. So please give us some other examples, if you can bring something like that. Something similarities, including the wine industry or any food industrial examples. I'm very interested about the agricultural part, but I also have some experience with Indian machinery, agricultural machinery. You mentioned Mahindra, Apollo tires, so I also curious about this kind of industrial connections. So please give us a deeper impression from these. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before answer, I would like to welcome Mr. Békesi from the Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Science, and the other colleague in the second round, they both will speak about university and factory opportunities. And now let me ask you answer the first question. Thank you.
Thank you for those very interesting and pertinent questions. Let me combine some of the answers because they are common and address some of the point. Let me talk about agricultural university cooperation, agro-sciences, and well, I had the occasion to visit your university when you had the international awards. You even awarded an Indian origin scientist, so that shows that cooperation can take many forms. India and Hungary have a agreement on science and technology cooperation. There is a committee which already exists under a bilateral agreement. We have even set up a small fund to support research in areas that this committee identifies. Some of the research in the last cycle dealt with agro sciences. Your university in Pech collaborated with my IIT to do some studies which were supported by the joint fund for the two governments. So we already have such examples of cooperation happening. In India, one of the major research area for my agricultural universities now is climate resilience agro. And I think that can be an area, that should be an area of concern for everyone, including in Hungary. You have wonderful agricultural production. I mean, I've traveled across the Hungarian countryside, and yesterday I saw canola and mustard, and I've seen the quality of the soil here. The climatic condition, this valley is very productive. And I see a lot of opportunities where universities can collaborate under the existing science and technology collaboration program. But we as the embassy are very happy to help Hungarian universities find partners in India. We have a network of agricultural universities in India, both in private and public sector. And they are quite happy to work with European partners. They are working with several other. I was in Eger the other day, and I went to the university, which has its own vineyard, and they study vinology in some detail. And I was trying to help find a partner institute in India which has a similar kind of study focus. And I'm sure that we will be able to finalize an agreement very soon. So there are tremendous opportunities. You mentioned about the existing agro collaboration. HEL, of course, is one. But I was in Nireghaza the other day, and there's a small company, I can't recall the name. If you have the name, Rajiv, help me out on this one. And they are already importing gherkins, the small cucumbers from India. Places around Bangalore have become the largest concentrated producers of high quality gherkins for the world. And this company, which is essentially a food processing company in Hungary, is sourcing all its gherkins, all its pickles from India, marketing them, processing them in Hungary, and marketing them all over Europe. Now this, what the CEO of the company told me, has made the venture profitable and strong enough to survive. So there are several such cases. I mean, some of them might not even be known to the embassy. But we are very happy to facilitate. We are able to help any Hungarian company which is looking to procure products from India or to sell its products, to help them with the legal and the structural dimensions, but also to help find partners in India who can help sustain the business model, whether they are looking to procure or to sell in the Indian market. The agro machinery market in India is booming. It's growing. at almost 6%. And you spoke of Mahindra. You know, Mahindra has now become the largest agro machinery seller in North America through the acquisition of the John Deere brand, which many Americans don't even know that it's actually a Mahindra brand now. Same in Europe. They are available here, not in Hungary. I don't think they have a sales outlet in Hungary yet, but they are available in Central Europe. A lot of other countries are procuring tires, for example, for harvesters and tractors are being imported from India, even into Hungary. And again, we are happy to help Hungarian partners find suitable Indian companies to partner with in whatever product. You asked what products should Hungary be selling. I would say all of it. There's nothing which I can think of which will not have a market in India. See, it's the scale. The Indian alcoholic beverages market is about $250 billion worth today. Now, if you are not there in that 250 billion thing, and you can find a niche. See, even if 0.1% of Indians take to drinking Tokai wine, that translates into a 250 million person market for you. Just 0.1% of the people. So that is the advantage of going to India. There's nothing which you can't sell. I mean, we have an appetite for everything. It is the most populous country in the world for a reason. And the reduction of agriculture in India is also as sensitive as it is in Europe. One of the key negotiating points in FTA was to keep the sensitive agro products in a safe basket. We didn't want to repeat the experience you had with some other trade agreement, including in Hungary and rest of Europe. So agriculture is as much a culture in India as it is in Europe. So we have excluded some of the sensitive things, like dairy is not included in the basket, even fruit and vegetable. So kind of balancing that with the domestic priorities. But one of the areas which has benefited with reduction of tariff is alcoholic beverages, wines, for example. And I think that creates a tremendous opportunity for Hungarian producers to go. Of course, how much you produce and how much of it are you able to take to India to sell will be a challenge which you have to deal with. I can work to find most easy channels to go, but getting that product, producing that product will be the responsibility again. That's why I say that if a company is looking at wine production and they have experience of producing wine in Hungary, they can go to India and produce wine and sell in the Indian market and in the world market. That might actually be a more profitable and more effective business model than just trying to sell what you produce in limited quantities in India. There was another question on. I think I addressed all of them. So any further questions, we're happy to take that.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for your answer. In the second round, I would like to ask a few of you here to briefly share their experience and plans regarding India. I would like first to ask the representative from MATE, in English, Hungarian University of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and representative from Fluart Ltd. To do so. So I give you. Please, a few words about MATE's CNC relation with India.
Thank you very much. Excellency and dear colleagues, it's a privilege to be here, and despite the fact I stepped in a bit late because I had some engagements, I attended on the way here. I attended His Excellency's presentation. My name is David Békési, the Chief Advisor to Director of MATE University on international relations, and the reason I really wanted to come here today, because as His Excellency mentioned, we have a great engagement with Indian partners and especially with the embassy of India in Budapest, as well as our mission in India. What I wanted to mention in the beginning that when we talk about the free trade and trade agreements, we tend to focus on products and maybe factory activities. And I'm very glad that it was mentioned that the know-how transfer, the knowledge transfer is equally very, very important. And I think this is the biggest potential where we can collaborate with our partners in India. And as it was mentioned severally, that Hungary has great inventions. We have great knowledge and technologies, but the volume is something very, very different. We see from our classes and when we enter the markets, when we face, for instance, we have good wines, and I'm very glad to see our, some diplomat colleagues as well around the table. The struggle and the challenges when the diplomats are trying to put the Hungarian products on the shelves is that finally they sell it, but it's not enough. We don't have enough. So this is how I would like to enter or arrive to the responsibility and the potential of the university or the research institutes to be there at the knowledge transfer, to be present at joint researches. And I wanted to highlight on a few areas where we already have some good experiences and some good potentials. The rector of the university visited India, and at his latest trip he offered some research positions to Indian colleagues. I think this could be a very, very good potential to have researcher exchanges between our countries. You know about, probably most of you, about the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship program. It's a very, very effective flagship program on studies. We have currently at MKT University 25 students from India, but we are engaging on different other modalities. Currently we have already five self-financing students. We give our own scholarship as well to Indian students on specific areas. There is a joint master program on agri-food, the Danube Agri-Food Masters program, which is also important. We have one Indian participant. And of course the mobility, the Erasmus mobility, currently we have 2 students participating. And as I mentioned, some key areas. I was glad to hear that the water industry is also something or a potential area where Hungarians could enter. I had the privilege before joining the university to serve as a diplomat in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa, and it was a brilliant example of Hungarian presence that during my term 3 projects was inaugurated in Ghana, in Western Africa, by Hungarians. And I think this is a good example. This is something where Hungarians have knowledge, where we can share and really be present in the markets. I think in India, as His Excellency mentioned, the potential is endless. What we have to realize is not to compete. As I see sometimes Hungarians, they sometimes compete before entering the collaboration, competing here. I think the best way is really to somehow unite and come up with a value chain offer, what we can offer to Indian partners. For instance, in the food market industry, we have excellent knowledge, we have excellent colleagues and know-hows. And I see already some initiatives when a whole value chain is uniting and this could be marketable. This could be competitive for instance, in the Indian market as well. So food industry is something very, very interesting. I'm very glad that András is here also, my colleague from MATE. He's leading an excellent group in the tropical areas, tropical regions, in the Sahel, in Arabic countries. So I think their knowledge, their experiences are also very, very interesting to be implemented in different other countries, now in India. And not only like focusing and transferring this knowledge to India, but I think it's also interesting to have those Indian researchers here, as I mentioned, that we already have some PhD students as well, master program masters. They already work on very, very essential researches which could be implemented in third countries. So we really would like to enhance this activity. The last sector I wanted to mention is biotechnology, where we see that we have great potential. I know that the time is limited. We could talk the whole day about potentials. I'm very glad that this initiative is going forward, and once again, congratulations for the signing of the agreement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Békési. Please, thank you. And let me hear Mr. Német about their plan in India.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, Your Excellency. Thank you for this opportunity. Allow me to speak standing because I'm speaking out of the corner, so it will be much convenient for you. So thank you once again, and I am in a very comfortable position because I'm the not the last but the latest speaker, so I can refer to those thoughts and sentences were already mentioned. I would like to start with His Excellency's presentation. Thank you very much for the valuable thoughts and opportunities you outlined. And my impression was very much on the sense that why now, why India? And you mentioned the pharmaceutical sector as a potential for development and collaboration. My name is Zsolt Német, and I'm representing a Hungarian vaccine manufacturing company called Fluart. Our traditional basic business is the manufacturing of seasonal and pandemic flu vaccines. We have very great achievements in this field for 35 plus years, so if there will be an interest, I can explain it in more details. And as a colleague from the university mentioned, that the exact products, it's a good thing, but because of the volume issues and the differences in the sizes of the markets between our two countries, I'm very much focused on his thought, and we are very much focused on this one at the company, the technology, the knowledge transfer, both ways, I mean. Today I just wanted to raise with you the issue which we have developed together in the framework of the research and development activity undertaken almost for 7-8 years with the Hungarian national public authorities regarding the nosocomial, or in other words, the hospital-acquired infections caused by different bacteria. These bacteria are very lethal for population, and it is the truth. I don't like to make any comparison between our solutions and the traditional antibiotic manufacturer solutions, but these infections cannot be treated any more effectively with the traditional antibacterial tablets. Our solution is, and our approach is, the bacteriophage-based products, which can be regional specific, community specific, hospital specific, or even the person specific. Now we have the undergoing FDA registration with one of our salmonella products, which is used for, and now we can connect to the agricultural sector as well, which can be used on the surfaces of the fresh meat and ready-to-eat food and so on and so forth. And we have a range of different bacteria and different bacteriophages. They preserved in phage and bacteria banks, and we have developed a very specific and scientific based approach to treat these nosocomial infections. As we have here representatives from university, I just wanted to recall our 30 years experience in collaboration with the Debrecen University in different fields like treatment of different cancer issues and the fecal microbiota transplantation. These treatments are already incorporated into the national financing institutions, so these are subsidized by the fund of the Hungarian health authorities. So if we are talking about the collaboration possibilities, we are ready to collaborate with Indian companies regarding the both ways, you know. So we are not thinking about the product sales, but rather about the knowledge transfer both ways. We are very strong in registration field with the national and international registration authorities. So we would like to have an opportunity and the possibility to cooperate with Indian companies in these fields: vaccine manufacturing, development, and bacteriophages products development. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now Mr. Ambassador, please answer comments.
Thank you. Again, I mean, I absolutely agree. The whole point of two people communicating is to exchange ideas. That is the most essential and at core of every relationship. Ideas should flow both ways. One of the areas where this embassy particularly works very strongly is for students exchange. The government of Hungary runs a very ambitious stipendium program. We have several students from India opting for that. I think now we have almost 1,200 students from India studying in various Hungarian universities, including in yours. And most of them are STEM students. And hopefully they will take back the experience and knowledge and understanding of working in learning in Europe and be the bridge builders in the future. That's the whole point. For Hungary, we have doubled the scholarships we offer under the ITEC program, the Indian Technical and Education Cooperation Program. The seats have been doubled. The ITEC scholarship are very short duration, technical focused training programs. And the good thing about it is that it's very wide ranging. We have programs from nanotechnology to study of Buddhist literature. So the scale is vast. And we encourage Hungarian institutes to nominate people for those courses. They can range anything from 6 to 10 weeks, and they are very professionally oriented courses. We will be very happy to look at agro-focused technical collaboration courses where we can exchange students and researchers. I'm sorry, I didn't get the name of the pharmaceutical company you represent. Fuar. Okay, no, that is exactly the kind of collaboration that we are happy to facilitate. I mean, I've been following the use of bacteriophage as a antimicrobial agent, and the possibility is interesting. We would be very happy to connect you with potential Indian partners in pharmaceutical and vaccine production sphere. If you can share a brief about the company and the kind of partnership you are looking at, some idea about the technologies you're working on, I'm sure we'll be able to find a partner in India. See, my whole presentation was about why India, why now. My Prime Minister said it very succinctly. Prime Minister Modi said, "Make in India, make for the world." It's about scale. If you have the drive, if you have the technology, if you have the knowledge, we have the scale. We allow you sell not only in the Indian or the Hungarian market, but we allow you to sell in the global market. We allow you to become a global leader. And that's the whole point of my presentation. That's the only thing I want to give across. If there's one point, that is it. Make in India, make for the world. And it's a beneficial partnership. It's a partnership that will benefit all parties involved. As I said, one of the things which has been on top of agenda for our reforms has been improving the IP protection laws in India, which are now world class. One of the reasons why we managed to get the EU FTA negotiation was in the compliance levels were matching finally. So that should give you a sense of security that your designs are your designs. They are not going to be taken away, which can happen in some of the other production centers of the world if you go to. We will be very happy to look at specific partners. I invite all the companies, all the businesses to come and visit us in the embassy. We run business counseling sessions through our commercial wing, where we are happy to sit with you and tailor-make a Indian solution for your requirements, depending on what areas you are looking at, what kind of business exposure you are intending to. And we will be able to connect to you not only with potential Indian companies who can be partner, but also with legal expert, with tax expert advice in India, which will make your journey much, much smoother. So please avail that facility. I take this opportunity to invite all Hungarian companies and institutions to work with us through the embassy in that sphere. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, thank you for your answer. Dear colleagues, time has passed very quickly, but my question is, are there any comments or question? Shortly. Okay, but you have that. I say that we listen some question, okay, and Mr. Ambassador will give a summary answer. You are first.
So, thanks, and thank you for the presentation. And one question came into my mind because the possibility of scaling in India is absolutely unquestionable. But do you plan or do you have anything implementation in place where a company would like to enter to the market with a nice end product? And do you or can you offer some help in stepping onto the market? And I don't mean legally or something, but because it's a different market than the European market. So could you offer any help in marketing and so on, so to reach the people? Because of course the consumer demand is there, but to advertising something here and there, it could be quite different. And I'm sure, and then we all know the HEA Energy thing, they had the capacity, they had the funding, so they are quite big when they entered there, so they had the opportunity to fund themselves and research, that's for sure. But if a small company, like a small vineyard, who can only produce, okay, so basically the question.
Other question? Thank you. But the question was good. Other?
His Excellency, I'm really surprised about two data in your presentation. The first was the labor cost. It was a realistic or a mistake that your labor cost is 0.9, comparing to the Chinese 3.4 or 3.5, comparing to the Hungarian about a 7, comparing to German it is about a 13. So how can we compete with this labor cost? The second was the ratio of the young inhabitants in India, that it was more than 60% under 35 years. So I believe that this is two really important competing viewpoints when we are thinking about the cooperation with you.
Thank you. Thank you again, both very pertinent and important issues. You know, embassies are designed to help small companies only. The larger ones don't need me. They can hire talent which is much better than what I am offering. But we are able to help you on a range of issues. If you're looking for marketing advice, we are able to, if we are not able to give you marketing advice, although we do strategic counseling, we will be able to advise you on what market best suits your product mix, what channels you could look at as being more beneficial, and what are the requirements of compliances and regulatory mechanisms that you might want to look at. But we will also be able to connect you with a range of partners who will help your business, banks, lawyers, chartered accountants, marketing agents, logistic companies, which can help soft land your product. We also have a single point entry window into India. The Invest India is a omnibus organization, kind of like your HEPA, which helps which helps foreign companies soft land into India. So please do let us know what exactly you are looking at in terms of your product, and perhaps we can help find right partnerships and opportunities for you. Well, it takes a banker to drill down on the bottom line. You don't have to compete with that labor cost. You have to take advantage of it. So as I said, you want a website designed for 50 bucks, you come to us. We are perhaps the only ones who can do it at a quality which will be global. Yes, we are a young country. Till not long ago, we had very high fertility rates, very high birth rates. And at that time, a lot of economists, you know, the Malthusian hangover was still there, and who looked at it as a burden. And then people realized that it was actually not a burden, but a dividend that you are reaping now. So for next 50 years, we project till 2080, we won't have labor shortages in India. And that's why those next 50 years are what you should be riding that wave on. And we are very happy to, to connect people. The FTA addresses mobility issues as well. Again, that helps in cross-pollination and transfer of knowledge. And I think that is an opportunity which many European companies are already taking advantage of. As I said, the German middle sector is in India in very large numbers. That's a case study people in Europe should be looking at, how that segment use the Indian locational advantage to its profitability. And you have examples in Hungary as well. I told you, Gideon Richter is a very good example of how a Hungarian company has leveraged the very competitive labor cost in India to global advantage. And that's precisely what I am here to tell you about. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, thank you for your answer. Dear colleagues, we have to finish. Thank you all for your comments and questions. It is our turn to take advantage on the opportunities we heard about. This is our mission to do it. Dear colleagues, in conclusion, all in all, I think we all agree that India-EU free trade agreement not only opened a new chapter in EU-Indian relations, but can also provide new opportunities and new energy to the development of Hungarian-Indian economic and agribusiness relation. Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, allow me to thank you once again for accepting our invitation. Thank you for your great presentation and for all the discussion. It was an honor to have you here with us today. We all personally appreciate your visit. Thank you. Thank you very much. All of us thank you for your visit and presentation with this modest gift. Just a moment. Let me give you. Thank you very much. Let us give for the second secretary, Mr. Second Secretary. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, thank you, our guest and everyone for being here today. I ask everyone to take our good news to the world. With that, we ended our session. Thank you very much for that.